put it to paper and look at it. I think like that is a great way to make it real. That's a really, really good tip. Who's the biggest influence for you in trading? Like over the last 15 years, I know there's so many like legends that you've probably read about. Who's the biggest influence?
The book that really stuck with me always was Pitbull Champion Trader. It's just the most practical book.
That's Marty Schwartz, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
It's just I've stopped reading trading books for the most part a while back because I like to get different input nowadays. The Market Wizards books, I remember listening to those books on audio tapes when I was just starting out, and those are great for just motivation and just make you to keep going in the beginning when everything seems so hard. So those are very, very important. But the Marty Schwartz book, and that's, he said it always, and that stuck with me. He had been trading, I think, when he wrote the book, 20, 30 years. And he said that still, at all times, he has a written checklist where he writes down his trading rules, he prints it out, and when he's trading, he's going through that checklist. Even though he has taken the same trade thousands of times, he still makes sure that he...
Yep.
Yeah, it's just accountability and self-check, yeah.
I love that recommendation because that is not one that I have actually read yet. So I'm glad that you said that. So hopefully people listening will go and grab that book and we can all read it together.
Yes.
I also, what stuck out to me there is you've tweeted before, because I follow you on Twitter and I was following you on Instagram. You said that you try to challenge yourself to read books from things that you're like not even interested in, almost like abstract history and math, and like you were into statistics. So I'm sure you're reading some things like that. Does that translate into better trading just because you learn more and you learn more about yourself? Or do you think that it just occupies brain space so that your trading brain can focus on trading and your other brain can be focused on this other learning, and then it's like it equally satisfies itself? You know what I mean? Is that why you do it?
Yeah. No, at first I didn't. I listened to it in a podcast, I think from the Finding Mastery podcast, which I think is one of the best podcasts out there.
Yeah, definitely.
And what this has done to me is that it made my life just so much better, because if you keep doing the same things, you keep reading the same books, the same messages, you're not going to learn new things. And you never know, if you read something, maybe you're going to find a new passion, a new hobby. What we are doing right now, I'm back in Asia. We are buying, tomorrow actually, we bought a plot of land.
Nice.
And we're going to start an organic farm there and
That's awesome.
Try to do something. Yes. And you never know what new hobby you find. It's the same when you go to a restaurant and you keep ordering the same food. You never know, maybe you're going to find a new favorite food. You're going to find a new favorite hobby. You're going to find something that it's just so interesting that you're going to throw everything away and start a new life. And if you don't do that, you're never going to find that. And I think life is so short and there's so many things you can do there. And we do those accountability things with the traders. And there's a trader who said every year she challenges herself to try 2 or 3 new hobbies, try out new skills. And I think this is just such a good approach, and I try to do it as well. As often as you can, sign up for a new class, sign up for a new hobby, and read different books. It's going to make your life just so much more interesting.
I think the reason, as I'm thinking about you and trying to understand your brain more, I think the reason why you've gotten to that point is because, number one, you have a lot of experience. You've been trading for years, but you have got to the point where like there's levels to trading. When you first get into trading, all you think about is trading, and I got to make it work. I got to figure it out. I got to make it work. And you forget almost at some point in your growth, you forget, why am I trading? Like, what it's to give me freedom in my life, to enjoy the one life that I have, because at the end of the day, we all end up in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in that pursuit of successful trading, a lot of traders forget that. And that's why they don't get a hobby and they don't read anything else in the moment, because they're just trying to make money trading. They're just trying to get consistent. But once they make some money and they start to find, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, let's avoid this and do this, then I think it gives them the brain space to step out to where you're at and say, what do I actually like doing? Let me try to learn something new. Let me try to do something that fulfills me. You know, it's like seeking the fulfillment from other things, like you said, outside of the trading. You know what I mean? I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And that's actually the main reason why I'm back in Asia now. And because it's so easy to just get sidetracked, and you keep trading, you keep running your business, you make more money and you make more money, and it's just this red wheel that you're in.
It
Obviously, it
is.
feels good, and it's like a scoreboard. But then I asked myself, okay, why did I actually get into trading 14 years ago? Why did I go to university and never did anything with my university degree? Because the goal that I had was just to live a self-determined life and have freedom to do every day what I wanted to do. And so it's very important to step out. I'm pretty sure you know Dr. John Peterson.
Of course.
Yeah, and he has done this amazing, which I've been doing for years, the future authoring course. I've
I
been
haven't
doing
heard
it
about that.
for, yeah, I think the website is called selfauthoring.com, and he
Okay.
has a future authoring course.
Okay.
I think it's just like $15,
Okay.
and you get a bunch of questions that um, ask you about, okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years? What are the peoples that you admire? What are the traits about the people? And you set yourself goals, you break them down, and it's a really nice exercise. And what I found is that if you keep asking yourself this year after year, and I do it regularly at least twice a year, is that you keep reminding yourself, okay, what are you actually, and you keep questioning that what you have right now, and where you're going to go. Is this really the right path? And is this where you want to end up?
Right.
And I think this, as you said, awareness, it always comes back to that. Joe Dispenza always says that most of the people are running through their lives on autopilot. And then suddenly, 40 years later, they realize, oh, wow, that's actually not where I wanted to end up. And there's so many more things that I wanted to do. When I was working I was in university, I was working at that time. And then I decided, okay, it's time, I'm graduating, and let's just move to Asia and travel the world for a year or two. And I talked to so many people there who are like 40, 50 years old. And so many of them came to me and said, I always wanted to do that, but I didn't. I started to work, and then 20 years later, I woke up and now it's too late. So that always stuck with me.
My story about that is my mom and my dad both had some pretty serious illnesses when I was 16 and then when I was 18, and they both survived and they're both doing much better now. But those situations of near death kind of gave me that same realization where I saw how quickly life is over, even not as you expected it. It's just, it can just end. Like walking, you're on a mountain bike, bro. One day you could just fall. It's not going to happen, but you fuck your head up, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Who knows? So life is
Yeah.
so fragile and so short. And I think we lose touch of that in that autopilot mode, like you were saying. And then we don't go after the things that we actually want to do. So I almost feel grateful. It's the perspective that I've chosen to give on my parents being sick. I'm grateful that I was able to experience that at a young age, because it showed me, hey, I could spend the money on a material item, or I could go create an experience for my life and my family and my friends that lasts in my mind way longer, that is way more important to me. Because, like, at the end of the day, are they going to bury me with my Tesla or my Rolex? Probably not. Probably not. But at least I can die with those memories and those experiences. So I feel like there's a sense of like gratitude that you have there for that, just that perspective, I guess, But I think too, as traders, it is very easy, as I said already, to get caught up in that rat race. You called it that autopilot mode. That's the Joe Dispenza quote. I love that. I think in trading, it's very easy to get into it. So you said mountain biking is a big thing. We know reading is a big thing for you. Now you got the plot of land. How big is the land that you're growing the organic farm on? Is it big, or is it like a backyard garden?
It's around it's around 1,000 square meters.
That's pretty
So
big,
it's
bro.
not
That's
so,
big.
yeah, it's good for first. It's a good
What are you
start
growing?
for.
Do you know what you want to grow already?
Yeah, so that's actually how I got. I was looking around in YouTube trying to find new stuff, and I
Yeah.
watched documentaries. And there's a concept called like a food forest, where you don't do like the monocrops, where you just try to replicate what is happening anyways in nature.
Hmm.
So you try to intercrop fruit trees with herbs and vegetables. And I
Wow.
just found this so interesting. And there's so many people doing that around the world. Young people who bought plots of lands in Costa Rica and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bolivia, Bali, and they're doing that. And it looks a lot of fun. So I thought, let's give it a try. Yeah.
One thing for for Riley and I, back to what you said about how you traveled the world for 2 years, when we first, what attracted me and Riley to being together was not just our love for each other, but our love for travel and our love for experience. And now with COVID, we haven't been able to do anything. Like you and I were supposed to meet potentially in Amsterdam at Jason Greystone's first event. Remember back 2019 or whatever, 2020, whatever it was. So my travel plans have been put on hold. And I think for a lot of other people that never got to go see other places, it's also been put on hold. And it's forced us to go find other hobbies and other things that satisfy that travel itch. And like for you, doing this garden seems to kind of scratch one of those itches. Because even as I ask you that, you light up a little bit, you get excited about it.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that more and more people are looking into like they call a lot of the YouTube I see says like off-grid lifestyle. You know, they go, they build a yurt out in the middle of the woods, you know, and they do their own fire and their own hot water by their own stove and all that. So it's very, very interesting. And I think that it's so cool that you're going into that path. But listen, I don't want to keep you too long because we've already been talking for a while. I appreciate you so much. Let's just see if we have any questions in the chat from everybody listening. We've got a little decent sized audience here this morning. So for everybody listening, if you guys have any questions for Rolf, please put those in the chat. I did link Rolf's Twitter. I will put that again in the description so everybody can find that. I was supposed to leave 10 minutes ago, but this has been interesting. Nice. We'll take that. Which book do you recommend for price action trading? Do you have one you recommend, Rolf? That was a question in the chat.
No, I don't know a specific
It's so funny
one.
you said no. I was hoping you would say no because I don't have one either. There is not one other than yours. Your candlestick guide is really helpful, but your candlestick guide isn't like a price action pattern. It doesn't go too deep into like that kind of stuff. So I've never read a book that's really educated me on price action ever.
No, they're the classic ones like the Edward and McGee. They're pretty old, but other than that, no, I don't know.
No, me neither. Maybe Steve. I think it's Steve Neeson, the Japanese guide to candlesticks, but it's so thick. Like it's boring. It's dull. You know what I mean? Like you can learn that stuff. I think on YouTube videos and from other people. The book is like it's painful to read almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's it's also not going to make the difference between. Obviously, the importance of what's going to make you a better trader or profitable trader is not knowing another pattern.
Yeah.
Moritz and I, we were at lunch a few years ago in Singapore and with a hedge fund trader, and we were talking about trading strategies. And he said the only thing he does all day is trading a Bollinger Band reversal strategy with a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio, and he's doing nothing else. And he's done that for years. And you can keep it very, very simple. I think Linda Rushke has a very similar quote. You just need one setup and master it.
You know, Bellafiore says one good trade, and that'll develop into the next one good trade. Same thing. I tell everybody, we don't have, you and me, when people ask us advice, we don't have to reinvent the wheel because we're just following other successful traders that have already kind of laid the groundwork, so to speak, you know?
Right. Yeah. The technicals are not going to make the difference. I think everything else around it is then going to really make or break a trader. But that's always, in the beginning, you're not going to realize it. It's a process as always. I think you need to go through that phase and then eventually get to the place where you realize, okay, I need to focus on something else. And then you start slowly looking into the right things.
That's a great answer. For people that are looking to get into algo trading or looking to use AI, of course, EdgeWonk can be a really great resource for them. What other resource, and the other resources that you guys provide at Trade Society, what other resources would you recommend to people that are looking to just learn more about algorithmic trading in general, specifically, I guess, in the Forex market? Is there anything you could recommend? A YouTube channel, a book, anything other than, of course, your content?
Actually, what I love to do, I'm just trying to find it in the background.
Yeah, take your time. Wait,
I
Rolf,
think his name is
somebody said,
Kevin
what's your
Davey?
Someone said, what's your skincare routine, Rolf?
Nobody has guessed my age yet. Nobody has guessed my age yet. Kevin Davey. What really helps to stay young is not use an alarm clock. But if you are living in the US, I think that's not going to work as a trader.
You know, that is the best advice, bro. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So when it comes to algos, Kevin Davey, I think, is probably one of the most well-known algo traders. He's won the World Championship Trader Cup multiple times. He has a good course or courses. There's another guy, an Italian guy. What's his name? I'm blanking on the name. But yeah, they have good courses. So if you go to the World Cup champions and if you look at the last year's results, you will find very often they are algo traders actually. And then I just go and buy the courses from them. So Kevin
Makes sense.
Davey was one.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
writing
find.
down. I'm writing
Andrea
down.
Unger. He's an
Oh yeah, I've
Italian
heard
guy.
of him before. I'm gonna put your Twitter one more time here in the chat for everybody, so everybody can follow you on Twitter.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
from
slowly
there,
unwinding from social media, but yeah, you can still follow me.
what's your? I guess this is a good way to wrap us up here. What was the reason for leaving Instagram?
I figured that first of all, I don't enjoy if I do something in my daily life, I don't want to pull out my phone and make a story and waste time. And who am I doing it for? If I do something amazing, I share it with people that are close to me, my family, my friends, and for that I have WhatsApp or whatever.
Right.
But I don't want to interrupt my day by pulling out and doing a story and
It is
writing
annoying.
something.
You know, I post all
It's
the
super
time.
annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. So I made this. I read a blog called 100-Day Challenge or something like that.
Okay.
And one of the 100-day challenges that the author posted was just not doing social media. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I don't enjoy Instagram anyway, so that fits. So I deleted Instagram, and yeah, it instantly just made my life so much better. It's just
toxic.
so nice, and yeah, it is super toxic.
It's
and I
very-
feel so much better. Yeah, you can just enjoy your life and do what you want without having to think about how this is going to look at Instagram. How do you keep your people entertained? And it's
Literally.
also, yeah, it's not going to make a big impact on your business if you don't do it. And one thing that happened to me in the past, I had an Instagram account and it was deleted, so I got pretty frustrated with Instagram as well.
Happened to me too.
And that just yeah.
I feel like Instagram,
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love it for the people, like you said, that I can reach, but I don't love that I have to, if I'm doing something cool, like you said, I think to myself, okay, I'm going to post this. I'm not posting it for myself. I'm living it. Now I'm taking away from myself in the moment. So I'm posting it really for other people to make them think about me a certain way. It's literally just a game.
Right.
Like social media is just it's not like Angry Birds. It's just a different type of game. You know what I mean? So I think, especially for us as traders, when you're trying to keep the mindset even, a lot of the advice that I give to people is unfollow. If you don't want to delete your social media, unfollow all the other traders that you follow. Focus on you, because seeing someone make money, or at least say that they make money, you know, it could be photoshopped, could be from a week ago, could be whatever. It's like that'll just distract you and make you feel more FOMO. So I think it's detrimental even to people on the other side of it, not that like you and me that would be posting, the people just swipe. That is detrimental to your brain energy. It takes up space in your mind. So I applaud you for leaving Instagram, bro. Maybe one day I'll do the same. But to me, it's like Instagram is probably the one platform that will not be around in 10 years. Facebook, it's hard to see them going anywhere. I hate Facebook as it is. I barely use it. YouTube, I enjoy because YouTube I can learn from. Like YouTube is something like you just said. You watch documentaries about the plants and the growing. Like YouTube is a good learning resource. But you don't really go to Instagram to learn. To that point, my analytics have been terrible. I've been like losing 6 followers, 7 followers every day. And I used to get hundreds a day. And it's because I don't post pictures of my car or my watch or my money. I post videos from my trades. And, you know, like I said, Instagram doesn't want to teach. They want to flash you a lifestyle, an edited picture, that one little snapshot. You know what I mean? But that is,
one of the most fascinating guys I have found on the internet is Josh Waitskin. Have you heard about him?
No.
He used to be a chess world champion when he was like 11 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he quit chess. He's not on social media. He's not online anywhere. He just did 3 Tim Ferriss interviews, and that's all you can find about him. He's now doing coaching for elite performers, hedge fund traders, hedge fund managers. And what he said, because after chess, he got into Tai Chi push hands. He became world champion there. Then he started this foiling. You know what it is? This surfing thing.
Yeah.
With a fin.
With the fin.
And yes, he started that and got obsessed about that. And
awesome.
He said that without he started doing that with other people, and what he saw is that other people were always obsessed about how they would look because they had to post something on social media. And he started out and he didn't have to care how it looked. He could just focus on practicing his skill without trying to look good. And that's helped him to just practice the boring things, but make much more progress faster than other people would, because you don't have to obsess with how you look. Yeah.
Right. No, that is a great example. I love that. I love that.
And he's a great book, by the way, if you
Yeah,
if you're interested.
do you know the
The
name of
Art
it?
of Learning. Very practical. I always recommend it for traders as well.
I feel like I've heard of that. That's a popular book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
popular.
okay.
He's just a fascinating guy. 3 interviews, I think, on a Tim Ferriss podcast, and it's just super
Good. I'm gonna
super
check that out.
insightful.
I'm
Yeah, so
flying
cool.
tomorrow. That'll be my content for while I'm flying. I'll watch those videos.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna like it.
Thank you for the recommendation. Last question here. I know we talked a little bit about the morning routine and everything like that. Is there anything that you would recommend to people before they get to the desk to start trading, no matter what time zone they're in? Because, we've got people all over the world watching. What would you say is one thing you have to do before you start trading if you want to have a successful trading day?
What I've seen nowadays for the last 2-3 years is try to have as much of a stress-free morning as you can. So I feel that is going to be no inputs. I keep reading this from, I'm not sure if it was even Josh Waitskin, that you start your day without any inputs, because that's immediately going to put you into this responding mode.
Yep.
Where you just end up chasing your own tail, and then suddenly you find yourself knee deep in emails or whatever. So I do nothing in the morning. I wake up, take my dog out, have a coffee, walk through the garden, and then at one point, if I'm not biking, if I'm not biking at one point, I will probably pick up a book, and then but a fiction book, so not a something where they're throwing some things that you need to learn
No
into
tactics,
your face.
more just let your mind wander. Like, give yourself something to wander with.
Yes, exactly. And then I'm gonna come to my computer, and I'm not gonna open my email until it's afternoon. I'm not gonna open any chat or whatever. I'm just focusing on the things that I want to get done, whether it's doing something for Trade Society, doing a video, Edgewong, doing my trading analysis, and just trying to start without a lot of input and not have too much stress.
No, I love that, because I think in the morning, a lot of us our brain can give output, and if you clog the output with input, you're not going to flow, and you're not going to get those ideas out properly. So I love that. I think that's great advice. And I think for everybody, when you're a new trader, or even if you're just kind of in your journey struggling to make money, the first thing you want to do every day is get to the desk and trade. But it's actually the opposite of that can actually help you trade better. So I think that's a great point to leave us with, Rolf. I really appreciate you coming on, man. I'm so glad that Michael set up the group chat for us so we can start to do this more often. And hopefully, if everybody enjoyed the feed, we'll have you back on shortly, maybe the next month or two, and we'll touch base. And maybe the next call we'll go into, since it seems like we covered more of the psychology here, we'll go into more of some like trading strategies, some tactics. We'll share the screen, and we'll do that stuff next time.
Sure, we can talk about charts, anything. I'm always happy to talk to you. Yeah, it's always fun.
I appreciate it, bro. It's good to see you. Be well, be healthy, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.